Queen Elizabeth has died at the age of 96. Buckingham Palace announced her death after 70 years on the throne. She died just a year after her husband, Prince Philip. For the past few months, she had been suffering from mobility issues. Her son Charles, the Prince of Wales, will succeed her. People around the world are mourning her loss.
Today the crown passes, as it has done for more than 1,000 years, to our new monarch, our new head of state, His Majesty, King Charles III. We usher in a new era by saying the words, "God save the King."
We took a look at her legacy as the longest reigning monarch in British history. Young Elizabeth was never supposed to become queen. But when her uncle King Edward VIII abdicated the throne, her father took over. After his unexpected death in 1952, Elizabeth became queen at just 25 years old. At her side was her husband, Prince Philip. They met when Elizabeth was just 8 years old. Philip was a distant cousin of the royal family and belonged to Greek and Danish royalty. They got engaged shortly after Elizabeth's 21st birthday, and the princess caused a stir by saying yes without asking her parents for permission. Their lavish wedding brought thousands of people to Westminster Abbey to celebrate. The couple went on to have 4 children. Queen Elizabeth was known for her ability to persevere under pressure, even sharing a message of unity during the pandemic.
Around the world, people have risen magnificently to the challenges of the year. And I'm so proud and moved by this quiet, indomitable spirit.
She was also a seasoned stateswoman, and she was the most traveled head of state in history, visiting more than 120 different countries since becoming queen. Elizabeth hosted 13 American presidents during her reign. Here she's showing off her best horses to President Ronald Reagan at Balmoral Castle. Sidestepping this awkward moment with former President Donald Trump when he walked in front of her, greeting her last American president back in June 2021. She walked alongside other historic figures too, like the time she warmly welcomed Nelson Mandela after he won his fight to end apartheid in South Africa. But there were also times when people thought Queen Elizabeth could do nothing right. The palace, and especially Queen Elizabeth, were accused of being heartless after Princess Diana was killed in a car crash in 1997. Her muted response disappointed even her most loyal fans, and she was compelled to express her grief on television.
So what I say to you now, as your queen and as a grandmother, I say from my heart. First, I want to pay tribute to Diana myself. She was an exceptional and gifted human being.
Queen Elizabeth was also the public face of a monarchy mired in controversy. Some have criticized the heavy costs of financing the royal family traditions, including the lavish weddings. The Queen called 1992 her Annus Horribilis, or Year of Disaster. That's when a fire nearly burned down Windsor Castle. The palace spent £36 million to restore the residence. It was also the year that 3 of her children announced that they were ending their marriages. But through it all, she stood by her family. She tried to protect Prince Andrew when he was accused of sexual assault, and his deep ties to Jeffrey Epstein were revealed. And then there was the most recent controversy, in which her grandson Prince Harry and his wife Meghan Markle officially stepped back from their royal duties. The couple described a toxic, racist environment inside Buckingham Palace. The Queen was criticized for not allowing them to continue using their royal titles. But for many British citizens, she represented long-standing stability, especially as her role was largely ceremonial. She kept up centuries-old royal traditions, such as awarding knighthoods, and watching her Christmas messages was an annual tradition for millions of people.
I wish you a very happy Christmas.
Her own celebrations of the holiday at Sandringham Estate were well documented, as was her surprise appearance at a fashion show beside Anna Wintour. And for her 60th year as Queen, all of London came together in the pouring rain to watch her royal flotilla make its way down the Thames. In her last year, Queen Elizabeth was back to a packed calendar after taking a break during the pandemic. She welcomed school children to her Balmoral Castle, and even picked up a shovel to plant a tree with her son. She presented the Captain General's sword to Canadian soldiers and launched the baton relay for the Commonwealth Games. She also greeted crowds outside Buckingham Palace at her Platinum Jubilee. 4 days of parties, parades, and ceremonial events celebrated her 70 years on the throne. Her death marks the end of an important era in British history. Her funeral is expected to be held at Westminster Abbey after 10 days of mourning.